Hello, sim racers. Welcome to another live. Tonight we're gonna do some practice lap at Kyalami for Friday's next race. And yeah, well, what can I say? Well, first of all, hi everybody to the chat. Already a lot of people. Thank you so much for the support. The channel is keep on growing. It's keep on getting higher and higher. Let me know if everything is all right with the voice and voice volume and all that stuff. Right. So um, a little bit of a rant to start the night and forget about it and then have some fun. So a little bit of a rant. Why am I ranting? Now this channel is to have fun with you guys. Okay. So why I'm doing this? I'm not doing this to sell more ACC copies or whatever. I'm not doing this to show the people that I am the best in whatever I do or that I have the absolute I know everything correctly. I'm doing it because I like to share the night with you guys, having some fun on the servers. Driving finally without always thinking how to improve, how to do things, how to change things, what is the deadline, what's the obligation, and all that stuff. So, if you don't like what I'm saying, or if you have some problems with what I'm saying on the channel, you can criticize, no problem about that. But if you are passive aggressive or even worse, aggressive on the comments, I'll give you one extremely fun idea. Underneath there is a subscribe button. Now, if you have subscribed but you want to be aggressive, click it again. It's unsubscribe. I don't care. I don't need to have this channel grow to whatever thousand of users. I just want to have fun with the guys that like what they say. So if you have constructive criticism, we can talk. If you just want to comment to be aggressive and you pretend answers and stuff like that, I don't really care. So round off and thank you all the rest of the guys that want to have fun like me. So let's go and have some fun tonight, right? Okay. Um, so what do? We connect to the server, red line, Kyalami. Let's change the camera and we're gonna do some driving tonight because, as I said, on Friday we have a race, and this time it would be better, to have some practice before that. So, all right. So, first of all, guys, we had two races where we had crashes with the game, and we found out with Davide that we've messed up as usual. Devs, stupid guys. So we messed up, and actually the server configuration, file with our names in it and our names and library and team name were not matching. So the result is that to do a proper driver swap, you have to do everything properly. You have to do the same exact names, even one space, an extra space between the surname, and the last name and the first name, or an extra space at the end of your name can cause a crash. So yes, it's not the most user-friendly situation, but if you're having crashes, this is why it's happened. So ask from your legal administrator to give you the server configuration file so that you can see, or at least just the part of your team configuration, so that you can check the exact usernames, team IDs, last names, team name, all of that, and then check with your code drivers if you have the same exact names, character after character, space after space. Don't use special characters and so on. If you have even just one extra space somewhere, it's gonna crash. That's what is happening. So I think tomorrow we're gonna do another test with Davide in a test server just to make sure that this doesn't happening. So yeah, just make sure this is not the case. Okay, close subject. Hopefully next Friday we're gonna have a great race. Um, right. So, what are we going to do tonight? I'm gonna try. I'm already having some setup work here. I did some testing during this weekend. Of course, as usual, I will share the whole setup with you guys. So I would like to go to do at least half an hour of long stint and see how my tires, get consumed, how they wear down, the brakes, the fuel consumption, all that stuff. So 100 liters in. This is my setup. You can see the pages here. Electronics, more or less like that. Mechanical grip, it's here. You will notice that I'm using quite low wheel rates at the back. I'm trying to find traction with this car. I'm trying to find uh, aero neutral, so it helps me on the very fast corner, and then lots of traction because this circuit has many hairpins turns, and I need a lot of traction in first and second gear. So I'm trying to have traction and some understeer in mechanical grip, and some more front pointy setup in terms of aerodynamics for the mid to high end speeds. All right. So, hello, Noob Racer from Serbia. How is it going on the chat? All good, all good. All right. Okay. So this is the setup, and I say let's do a first try. I would probably need some time to get up to speed. So maybe that's not going to be the first and instantly, uh, you know, and instant good stint out there. But let's try it. So the track is pretty cold right now. 17 ambient, 19 temperature Celsius. The track is optimum already, and it's almost down to 5 minutes. So let's go out for just a couple of laps while we wait that um the server starts, because obviously in 4 minutes it's not like we can do lots of stuff. Just a couple of laps to understand when we are. If you guys do not know the track, I remind you. Oh, there's a car behind me. Sorry about that, mate. If you don't know the track, I remind you that there is. I have a circuit walk of Kyalami at the usual, playlist of circuit walks. So go there and find it. Obviously, we're not going to do it again. Ooh, the the graphics of this game are amazing. Look at that! Look at that! Ooh, I'll just have to drive in order not to lose. Yes, I think so, mate. The sparks. You like the sparks, guys, in multiplayer? Pretty cool, right? My frame rate is a little bit low, but probably because I've enabled the atmospheric fog, so maybe I should take that off. Ah, bad line here. Yeah, it could have looked even better from a GT4 cockpit, but better not. Not yet. Bad line again. I need to get up to pace. Oof, oof, so bad. Oh, look at that. Look at the sparks. Amazing. So cool. Look at that. That Lexus is touching everywhere. What are you doing, man? Ah, fantastic. Order 3.2 with full fuel. Amazing. In my face, practically. I love it. Ooh, ah. Always point to the outside, guys, if you can. In such situations when you see that, you know, you are coming too close to the other guy because for whatever reason, he had to brake earlier than you, always point to the outside. Also, in order to avoid, accidents, when you see a car spinning in front of you, right, um, you have more probabilities. I'm not saying it will always be the same, but you have more probabilities to avoid the accident if you point at his at the back end of the car. So point at the back of the car, at the rear end of the car, and go outside that way. You have more probabilities to avoid the accident. If it happens, I will show you. Right, so here we are qualifying. Ooh, so we are going for a race. That's bad. I hope that I could have done some extra practice. But okay, let me. Where was it? Here, the bloom quality. Yeah, we don't want that. The volumetric fog, I think. Thanks, Ale Zanelli, for the follow. Should we do the qualifying? Should we try a qualifying? Let's try a qualifying. So I will just put that to 15 like this. A little bit less aereo to have some extra traction. Reading data from UDP, you say you have to go to the forum. There's a whole, thread about it with all the shared memory channels available and how to do it. Rafael, we always try for more futures. As you saw, I've seen many people complain about 1.4 version being not so big, but in reality, if you see during the whole month of the lockdown, guys, from 1.310 to 1.41, it has been an incredible amount of continuous hotfixes, features. I mean, Professor 999, welcome, thank you. It's 1.4, it's just a number, but the whole thing grew immensely, and lots of work also on the back end, and you will see that in the near future. So lots of stuff. Submarines. Yeah, rear bump stopper asymmetrical. We'll talk about that later. Let's see if it works. Okay, let's try a qualifying. Let's see what I can do. Oh, what happened to my engine? Okay, let's go. Yeah, it's golden. It's golden. All right, let's go. Okay, thanks, mate.
Clear on the right.
Hello, hello, Voodoo. Hello, Tour. I don't use a mirror to have better frame rate for you guys, and for me, of course, while driving, because obviously streaming and driving takes some extra frame rates. But I found out that if you use your MFD, so that you know the cars that are close to you, and then you rely on the radar above, it's pretty much more than enough. And eventually you look behind like this, but the radar above, if you learn how to use it, it's more than enough than a mirror. That was nice here. Ciao da Germania, ciao. Grazie ragazzi. Uh. Ah. I haven't tried the AMD, so I'm really curious to see how the AMD cards work, but I haven't tried them, so I don't have a comparison to know. For sure, I definitely can advise you for Horizon, because that's what I'm working. I'm on my second one, and I'm very happy with them. But I don't know about the 5700 of the AMD. To be honest, right now I would probably wait a little bit, because lots of new video cards are, arriving, so maybe it's better to wait if you can. Thanks, guys, for the follow. Thank you, everybody. So nice, guys, on the chat. Thank you so much. No, no. What end of year? The ACC for console is coming the next month or two. Don't remember exactly, but it's really close. Not so good the last hairpin. 41.7. Can do better than that. Can do also worse than that. Thanks, Sammy G. Let's go. One more lap. One more lap. Not good. Setup was not so bad, to be honest. Ah, very bad. Very, very bad there. Lost the entry. See if we can do better here. Gained a little bit, but not enough. Ah. Ah. Not very good. I hoped I could have done a better lap time, but I don't have enough fuel to do another one. All right, so let's see a little bit the. Oh, I'm first. Yeah. Let's see a little bit the chat. Try testing with minimum FB adjusted. Minimum. Why should I use minimum FB? No, I don't. I don't get it. I don't know, guys, what to tell you about Unreal 5. I mean, as usual, new technology, no idea. What I can tell you is that we have plenty of custom code inside Unreal Engine, and so porting it to a new version of the game means rewriting and readapting all the custom work without any guarantees that it will work. So it's not like you flick a switch and it works. That's why I cannot tell you anything about it. I have no idea. Will it work? Will it not work? I don't know. So it's not easy like Unreal Engine 5 update done. No, unfortunately no. Would you mind commenting on the changes of the Huracan Evo suspension? It changes a little bit the attachment points. There was a little bit of error there, and especially how the suspension angle was, and that permits you to have some extra mechanical grip from the suspension, and also permits the car to gain some extra rake, so a little bit more pointed towards, without losing so much grip as before, which means you can generate more downforce and still have some extra mechanical grip. So all in all, it should be a little bit faster. We are talking small differences, right? We're not talking big differences here, but every little thing on those cars are so closely packed. I mean, just look at the SRO eSport event and look at the lap times in the race. There are the results on the website. If you go there and see it, you'll see that there are so many different cars and drivers in 1 second of a gap. I mean, in qualifying in pro, we have usually on average 20 to 25 cars in 1 second. And in silver, we have almost like 30, 34 cars in one race in 1 second gap. So just a tiny little bit always put some cars higher, lower. It's really, really hard. Mauro Serafini, telemetria. Una delle arti più difficili della telemetria è saper leggere la telemetria. Non ti dà niente di facile. Lo devi imparare, devi saper leggere. E per fare ciò devi studiare o fare qualche corso, così è dura. Però forse un giorno faremo una live proprio su quello. Make it perfect. I wish it was. Thank you, Catch. I'm Melvering. You say that the BOP is so much broken. Really? Have you seen the lap times, mate? To say that it's broken? Because I see the cars being extremely close together. I don't know. Maybe we're watching different races. I mean, we had like 3 races, and also the extra ones from the European, from the American SRO, and we almost have different cars winning on every race. It's amazing. Yes, of course, the old Nissan and the old Bentley do not win, but everybody else, I mean, is up there close. I don't know. Honestly, guys, sometimes I really don't understand what you're talking about. I drove the A2 Quattro long time ago. Long time ago. Not a very enjoyable car for me, at least. Lots of understeer, snap oversteer. Didn't really like it, to be honest. Oh, let me load the setup for the race. I don't even know how much. Uffini, I don't know if you've seen, but we have already rating, ranking. There is some, but there is lots of work. You have to give Kevin some relaxed time, guys, because he's working so hard on on the consoles to make it happen, on work on the back end to make it happen, and so on and so on. It's really hard. Poor guys doing long hours. I don't know how much stuff will come and improve, but I do know that he's willing as soon as he gets some extra time to work again. So let's be all patient. Yeah, I mean Paul S. Right? The GTR is killing it. It's the same car. So which frame rate is ideal? I don't know. I've seen that if I have a steady 60, it still works nicely. Uh, Obviously, the more you have, the better. But I would say that it's good to cap the frame rate so that it doesn't make big up and downs. Those up and downs create stuttering. So if you can do 120, but you see sometimes going down to 70, cap it at 90, and you should be fine. I think so. All right, so we're ready here. Everything is good. How many laps? Oh, I have to go there. I don't know how many laps. 50, 20 minutes. Why? Okay, let's go with full fuel. Who cares? So it could be a good practice.
Stay double file.
Some guys didn't stay for the race. So we have to move to the other side of the road.
Green light, green light.
Ah, bad start. Oh, so many Astons.
Car on the left.
Everybody's gonna overtake me. I did such a bad start. I also have
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
I also have
Car on the left.
tons of fuel. Stay here, guys. Oh, come on.
Clear on the left.
Seriously? Come on, guys. I mean, I'm not invisible. That's nice. Oh, well. Okay, let's follow those guys. Full fuel. Let's see what we can do. Oh, nice. Wow.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Yeah. From the outside. Come on. What an amazing time of the day to race. Difficult because you can't see very well, but so beautiful. So beautiful. Look at that. It's amazing.
Well done, mate. Personal fastest lap.
Yeah, the setup is so nice right now. I like the Aston a lot. It doesn't have, power, but it's such a balanced car. Really, really nice.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Oh, look at that. Oh my god. I need some power here. Ooh, mistaken.
Car on the left.
Oh, come on. You
Clear on
cannot
the left.
really do this to me.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Right.
Well made. The fastest lap so far.
Nice. Okay. Clear overtake. Hi, race it. The dev bomb worked. The podium guys already gone in front of me. Look at the sun. Wow. Amazing. The sun is rising. Nice.
Well done, mate. Personal best.
I'm catching a little bit the third guy. Or maybe not. Oh, I'm hot already. Whew. Ah, the sun, it burns. So cool.
Well done, mate. The fastest lap so far.
Ooh, bad braking, bad braking. Reading the chat way too much. Need to concentrate more. Next gen consoles, I don't know, guys. The moment we get one, because we haven't got one yet, we will know what's going on. But honestly, I have no idea. We are, as usual, the core team is more focused on the PC as usual. All the development is made on the PC. We now have a great development team that is doing the porting on the consoles, using, of course, all our assets and code that we have. Ah, the sun again. But yeah, that's all I know. Honestly, I don't know much. Yeah, I'm losing on the third place because I'm not very focused right now. Oof. Oh, finally, a decent first turn. Yeah, as I said before, I saw the Unreal Engine 5. It's amazing. Uh, Probably it should be an easy, conversion if you are using just the Unreal Engine 5. But as I said before, you probably weren't here. We have tons of custom code into Assetto Corsa Competizione. So all of that code will need to be updated, check that it still works, all that stuff. So it's not an easy switch for us. Probably for other games and other developers, it's much easier. But for us, it's not the case. So I don't know really what is going to happen.
Mark, keep pushing.
I have no idea. No, I don't think it's a good idea to use traction control 0 at the start. I don't know. Some guys, like to live dangerously, might try it, but I don't think so. Gasper, yeah, we talked about that earlier. Again, it's a matter of, our network guy is extremely busy. He's trying to find some time and see what he can do. We'll see in the future, but I don't know what to tell you, honestly, right now. Sì, prima o poi dobbiamo farlo il video in italiano. How exhausting the SRO events. We are dying, literally dying, not only of the work, but of the stress. I mean, it's so stressful to try to make everybody happy while everybody's complaining for whatever reason, you know. It's really, really hard. Well, in theory, ACC already supports live telemetry with real-time channels that export, but obviously you need to write a program for it. If you mean to have a telemetry that you can read that Motec while driving. This is something we should have a look at it. Honestly, I haven't had the time to look at it yet, so I don't know what to tell you about that. Hello, Mike. Squirrel. Ah, the squirrel, and then I lost the turning point. Damn the squirrel. Oh yes, I have to say that you know stress a lot, running everywhere and everything, strict deadlines, trying to make everybody happy. But I have to say that also the SRO is very happy about it. Manufacturers are very glad. They tell us that we are fast to reply. Obviously, they're never happy because everyone and each one of them want to win, and everybody is complaining that they need more performance on their car. But 90%, I would say, are extremely happy with our reaction times and whatever we try to do with the organization, with the visibility they get into this very difficult situation. But again, at some point, you have to focus on what our real market is, and our real market is you guys. So our first priority is trying to make good products for you guys, and if we can get some extra visibility by accommodating SRO and manufacturers and everything, then all it's good because it brings some money to our pockets so that we can keep on doing what we do. But the main market is you guys, so this is where the attention stays. And I believe that by now that we're constantly improving, constantly working, and if we can fix something, we always do. If we can improve something, we always do. If some of the features that you guys might want are not here there, it's not because we don't want to make them, but simply because it's too hard, takes too much time, and we haven't found or figured out a way to do it yet. So that's usually the reason. Well, I'm going pretty well. Nice. Nice. Oh, come on. Ah! Wake up. Just throw out of the window a very good lap time. Ooh, a bit of extra oversteer there. Yeah, most of the manufacturers are more open to share data. Now, obviously, it's not easy either because you get extra data. You have to test them. You cannot just put those data in and see what's happened, because if those extra data make the car much faster than it should be on some tracks, then it means that some of the data that you didn't have before and you probably tweaked, now they're playing too much of an influence, and you have to counterbalance and see what's happening. Usually, every time we had new data, you put them in, the car gets better, not necessarily faster, but it reacts better and it becomes better to drive. So it's always good.
And leaders on the final lap.
And of course, every time we get new data, for us it's like, all right, new data, put them in. There's no way to say, oh, I got the data, but something breaks, so I won't put them in. No, you put them in, you do your test. You might not release it instantly because you want to do extra tests, but the real data always go in, and then you see what is happening for data that you are missing or you don't know, or whatever reason. But real data always in. Guys, about the CP servers, sorry, but I've replied that like already 10 times until now. So maybe after the end of the live stream, you can go catch the replay tomorrow, and you get your answer. So I won't reply that again. I mean, or alternatively, the chat can help you, and you will get your answer. Ha! That's a very interesting question, Claudio. Well, it hasn't happened yet, because Claudio asked, how do I make sure that manufacturers do not give me fake data just to make their car go faster? It hasn't happened, yes, but we do have replays and telemetries and on board from cars. And if they give me too much of strange data, somewhere it will show. Somewhere it will show. So we are P4, not bad, with full fuel load, not bad at all. That was a nice race. I liked it. The car was very, very nice, very, very nice. And if I was closer to the podium guys, I could have maybe push a little bit more and see what I could have done. Let's see how my tires did. Nice. Oh, that's very nice. Look at that. Look at that. 279, 279, 282, 280, 282, 281. That means that the car, very, very nice. I have some light grain, which I don't like after 20 minutes, but light, it's not bad. Maybe I was, pushing too much. You can't downshift fast. Why? Any help? You have to downshift with a rhythm. You cannot do like that, because there is, a limiter on the cars. If the ECU understands that you're going to over rev because you're doing this, it will stop your downshift. So you first brake, and after a while you start bam, 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 bam. Don't do that. If you do that, your car will downshift 2 times, and that's it. So you have to, you know, here the revs go down and then downshift, go down, downshift, go down. So it's all rhythm, my friend. It's music. Ah, nice, 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 nice. Okay, so possibly we can do some extra. It's a remind. Chance to see an in-game server manager. I don't know about that, mate. Sorry. You should set up a nightbot with fuck answers. Probably yes, if I knew how to do that. GT4 coming not this year, but after a couple of months or something like that. So yeah, absolutely coming in the summer. Thanks, bro. Custom library is legal. I have no comment about that. Um, what does front splitter setting relate to real life? It's usually for the cars that they can, they permit it. They can move the front splitter a bit forward and maybe does a little bit of rake. So there are clicks because they move it in places, tuck, 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 like that. But it's like, you have your car like this. This is the front bumper, this is the splitter, and it does like that, something like this. Okay, more or less. Multi-class racing probably probable in multiplayer, not in single player. Did you drive the AMG GT3? I wish, but we subscribed into this race with the Aston, so Aston it is. Sandwich, welcome. Benzin, welcome. Thank you, guys. Your dumpers, my dumpers. Can you show my dumpers? Yes, of course. Here they are. But as usual, I will post the setup. No worries. Again, dampers for traction. You see lots of mechanical trucks, some understeer, rebound when the car goes out of slow turns. Optimization for VR. Again, there is no specific optimization for VR. There is optimization of the game. If the game makes more frames, then you get more frames in VR. That's how it works. There's nothing you can do just for VR. Nothing. At least on how our code works. So thank you so much, Alexander, for pre-ordering. If you pre-order ACC, you get the Intercontinental DLC for free included. Yes. Richard, I don't have news yet for 2020 season. No news, nothing, no, nothing about it. That's it. What happened to the children? Growth hormones. Children grow. Do the real drivers feel easy to translate their nozzles into the car setups? Yes and no. Real drivers are paid to complain, and they will always complain if they see other drivers being faster than them. So they start excited, then someone gets faster than them, and that doesn't work anymore. And but that's the real drivers. That's their job. You have to understand them for them and take their feedback into perspective. Do we have a new? No, it's still race. Still race. No worries, Jose. Jose is asking sorry. No, let me write here. No, whoops. No worries, Jose. Jose, I cursed you in live stream. No, poor guy. No worry. Oops, what happened?
Green light. Show them what you got.
And we have free practice. Why other devs do not do what I'm doing? Thank you so much, Super Monaco. I'll tell you something here, and it is also a little bit of a second part rant. Um, it's hard, guys. It's hard to deal with you guys because you guys are so passionate, and you are because you are so passionate. You ask for so much from the developers that it's not easy to keep your calm, reply nicely, say to people that you cannot answer things, watch what you're saying because it's difficult to tell people things because sometimes you might tell something and people might generate hype out of it and that thing might never happen because reasons. Sometimes we don't know how to do things. Sometimes we don't have time. Sometimes we don't have money. All of those reasons. So you have to be very careful while you're talking. So um, I can tell you, even my colleagues sometimes tell me, Aris, be careful. Don't go out there and start talking. They know that I like talking a lot, and it is hard. It's not always easy to restrain yourself. Don't talk about stuff that you're excited about, or be careful, or don't answer to provocations. And it's not so easy. Not so easy. I mean, we started tonight's live stream with a rant, so that that makes you understand. Crusader, yeah, this track is amazing for racing. It's a revelation. It's a revelation. It's one of my new favorite tracks right now. Really cool. No, I won't say you're annoying, guys. No, not at all. You are passionate and extremely demanding. I mean, the other day there is a very nice guy on the forums that posted that. Thank you for all your work and everything and everything. Really, really nice post. But version 1.4 is underwhelming. uh, 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 it's like 2 months we've been keep doing update, serious update, physics, multiplayer, graphics, editors. 2 months of continuous work from 1.3.9 something 10 to 1.4.1. We haven't even stopped yet. Still some hotfixes to come, and all of this. I mean, if you wanna watch the real 1.4 changelog, then get the changelog of 1.41 and go down until 1.3.10. It's something like, it takes, it's enormous. It's massive. This is the actual 1.4 plus all that stuff that goes on behind in the code to accommodate for future updates, for the future DLC, for the future, category. That's hard to implement a new category in a game that is so closed, one series only, with all the rules for one series. So all that stuff, and you have people saying, "Oh, yeah, it was a little bit underwhelming." I get it. Yes, if you look just of what the 1.4 was, but that was not just 1.4. It was all the other stuff. So you, my colleagues and me, we watch a post like this, and I have nothing with the guy. The guy is great, right? So forgive him for that. But you see the post on the forums, and you're like, really? Oh, you're like that. But it is what it is. I mean, I understand you guys because I'm a sim racer too. So. Uh, New stuff for the AI? Not exactly. Not exactly. We are in a point with AI that it's hard to have big breakthroughs right now. So we'll see. I don't know. I don't know. You never know. 1.4 couldn't come with GT4 cars because first we need more time for them. On top of that, think that in the last 3 months, we should have been on the circuits asking people about GT4 cars, and we couldn't. So it's even harder to gain all that information now. Even the manufacturers, factories and offices are closed. So it is really hard. Uh, Richard. Uh, Frederick, that's a nice question. What should I say about people complaining that when you get hit, it seems that the car feels very, very light? So here's the situation. That's the problem. Well, first of all, I have to say, right things right. And the first thing is, so let's have a replay, by the way. Oh, no, we cannot have a replay. Yeah. So let's go back to the garage and watch somebody else lapping in the meantime. All right. So, what to say about um, when you get hit, the cars feel very light? Well, first of all, I would say that if you watch the latest races, right, you will see that the collisions have greatly, greatly improved, and that's also in the last month. So extra work, what we were saying before that. So it was introduced about 1.3.12, 13th, something like that. Greatly improved collisions. You can really touch the other guys, etc. But you also have to think, guys, what is happening in multiplayer. In multiplayer, even the best connections, there's always some lag, right? So your client has to travel to the server, which is somewhere else, I don't know where, and then that client, has to come back, go to the other client that maybe is another continent, go back again to the server, and then comes back to you all that information. That takes milliseconds, but milliseconds means that when you're going at 150 to 200 kilometers per hour, the milliseconds are meters. So your car might be here, and when the collision happens, it's already inside the other car, and that makes sometimes the collisions to feel like there's much worse of a hit than what you have might anticipated. That's one reason, and it is a very valid reason. It's a technology problem. You might say, but some other sims make it better. Could be. I don't know. That's our limit right now. This is the best we can do, obviously. Oh, thank you so much, Claudio. Thank you for the 2 euros. Thank you so much, mate. Um, so that's the one reason. The second reason is that very often we don't understand really the difference in speed and what happens in real life if you do this, in real life. Uh, I mean, we take for granted that, oh, I just touched the guy, but in reality you had like 10 kilometers per hour difference in speed. And if you go and see in reality in videos what happens when you hit with your car uh, a box, a wall at 10 kilometers per hour, it's pretty scary. So those two reasons together make us think that, oh, it just touched me and I completely lost the car. I mean, you can see it also in real life. You have Formula One cars with extremely big, um, uh, tires, and you got one guy hit, and it does a completely 360 just by a tiny touch. Happened already. I mean, ask Vettel and Hamilton. So yeah, it's tricky. It's very tricky. It's very difficult. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's what we have right now for us. It's the top of the technical level we can achieve. So it's really tricky. Right. Thanks, Ignition. Right, right. So good. So what should we do? Now, I like the setup. I don't know if I can do something about it. No, I haven't drove the AMG GT3 in real life. No, no, it's not so easy, mate. Uh, oh, we have Davide Brivio. Let's ask Davide to join if you guys like. Oscar, no, mate. GTE cars cannot be in the game. This is an extremely SRL, serious game. Has nothing to do with GTE. So unfortunately, or fortunately, we cannot have GTE cars inside the competition. I'm sorry about the cheater. We'll see what we can do about that. We'll see. I won't say nothing about that right now. It's better, to have something in your hands that you know, and then say something about it. So we have plans. As I said, Kevin is extremely occupied and busy. Other devs also the same, but things are going to happen. But okay. Aaron, thank you so much for the tenor, mate. Thank you so much, really, honestly. Wow. Okay, us talk something about aliens and setup. I want to clear up something about that. So you hear me every time saying, forget about the setup, forget about this, forget about just, practice. I want to make clear something about that because I understand that I'm talking way too much about this, and probably somewhere I might be giving the wrong impression. So I want to clear this up. Well, first of all, thanks, SRL. Wow, one beer, Czech beer. I love Czech beer. Staropramen. I love Staropramen, mate. Thank you so much. um, no, David Debris is not the manager of Suzuki. Uh, let's talk about setups. Now, one of the best things in sim racing is that you can do your setup, right? That's the best thing. You can, tweak with the car, make it personal, make it exactly as you like it, and always sometimes, actually most of the times, get frustrated because you can't make the car do what you want. So setup is great. It's great. It's one of our of our passions to be able to tweak the car, make it change. It's also amazing, but because you tweak something and instantly the car reacts and you have a different car to drive. This is wonderful. So setup is amazing. So if you do it, if you like to change your setups and make and work on it, it's fantastic. Now, this channel here is not about the extremely experienced sim racers, the extremely fast sim racers, or even the very good sim racers, right? I mean, if you're a very good sim racer and you enjoy my channel, I'm very happy about it. Thank you so much. Uh, I'm glad that you're having fun in this channel, but this channel is not exactly for you because I'm slower than you. I have nothing to teach you. You can teach me. I can teach you some stuff in theory stuff of handling, of car, of history, and so on, of development. But I cannot teach you how to go faster because you're already faster than me. So this is not what this channel is for. This channel is uh, to teach the basics and the method, because my idea has always been that uh, driving fast in a circuit racing is 60-70% theory and method. Then you have another 20-30% practice, okay, practice, and then you have another 10% talent. Talent helps you get faster, uh, faster, in a smaller amount of time. Um, so what I'm trying to teach you here is that if you are very slow, or if you are slower, or if you are a mid racer, or if you're like me, whatever, you can get faster by learning the correct method and learning how to practice. All right? This is what we're trying to do here. And this not only makes you faster, but also makes you a better racer inside the race. This is all what matters, not the outright speed on a single lap, but the race speed. It makes you a better racer when you're driving together with other people, and it makes you also uh, it makes you enjoy the experience more. You know, that is what I'm trying to give you guys. That's what I'm trying to also to have a good time here. So this is what I'm trying to do. So if you are not, if you haven't, if you don't know the method correctly, if you don't, if you haven't practiced properly, then my idea is it doesn't matter what you do to the setup. You're not ready yet to understand what you're doing to the setup, so you won't get better by just asking setups here and there. You want to get better? Ask replays, watch the other drivers, put the theory into practice more and more and more. This will make you better. This will make you gain seconds. Now, once you have arrived at a very good level, or at your upper level, whatever that is, then by all means start playing with setup. Go to other channels which are amazing out there. Learn more about setup. Go, for example, to Dave Coates and buy a setup from him. By all means, I mean, if you want to do it, and he's doing not only he's not just selling setups, but he's doing proper coaching, and you can learn a lot about him because not only he is a very good real driver, but he is also very good on teaching people. So, by all means, go there, make your own setup, learn how to do setups, do it. But always remember in your mind that if you're not know what you're doing, the setup ain't gonna help you. It ain't gonna help you doing fast lap times. It ain't gonna help you doing better racing and all that stuff. So this is what I'm telling. This is what we're doing into this channel. It's the first step, and also having some fun in between. So this is it. Oh, beer from Canada. Thanks, Jan. Thank you so much. Male ragazzo. Thank you so much, mate. Thanks, Brindles. Greetings. All right, so let's ask David if he wants to join. Hi, Phantom. How the camber thrust and camber force is implemented in physical model? In a couple of ways. It creates a lateral force, okay, and slip angle. It adds to the simple. So it creates slip angle and it creates lateral force in both ways. And you have an optimum force at specific camber pressure combinations, and also creates a specific slip angle that actually it's the slip angle that creates force. But that slip angle doesn't. It gets like added to the peak slip angle. It's a little bit complicated. So yeah. Um, right. So okay, let's call Davide in. Oh, he's also in the side of the server. So give me a second so I can call Davide. Where is he, Davide? Oh, come on. I got my. I have to say. I have to change. I have to change batteries on my.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, Davide.
Hello, Honda.
Onda.
Yeah, I'm the guy that was sleeping on the sofa. That's it.
Nice, nice, nice. Well done. Well done. Well done.
Was it a good
How?
practice night?
Yeah, yeah. Actually, I did a very fast 20 minutes race, but I
Yeah.
put full fuel load, and I was pretty fast. I ended up fourth,
Oh,
but
great.
I was pretty fast. Very very good pace. Very close also to the first guys, but I don't know if those guys are our kind of guys. I did
Yeah.
41.3, I think, in qualifying, something like that.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, I'm getting better. How many polygons budget? I don't know, but there are a lot in Competizione. I'm watching. I'm watching the chat. People, exploding. I mean, I've seen this right now. I have 345 concurrent viewers. What is happening, guys? Thank you so much. This is amazing.
Wow.
In just Monday evening, like Monday night, like that. Better understanding of arms and wheel rates for too long. Yes, Phantom, I did so. I think it is somewhere in the too long didn't watch series. Have a look at it, but I'm pretty sure I talk about that. People are saying hi to you
Aha,
in the
ciao, ciao,
chat.
ciao.
So yeah. So how are you doing, mate? Let me see. What are you doing? Let me see if you
Yeah,
have
yes.
trained.
You can
If
spy
you
me.
have practice. Did you practice? So where are you? I don't see your lap times.
I've just started.
All right. Okay, okay. Here you are. I can see you. Oh, you are with the black one. That's nice too. We have to
Yeah.
make sure to take the correct car at some point. So tomorrow
Yeah.
maybe we should do a couple of tests. That black one is pretty nice, right? Looking from you know what, it is something that we should probably some point maybe try to improve. You see
Yeah.
your libraries inside the editor and they are amazing, but inside the game the reflectors are different and it's even better, so it's not exactly the same.
We should pump up the lights in the showroom then.
Yeah, yeah, maybe. Then Gabriel asks, at some time ago, he was seeing me driving with the steering wheel but no hands. So how you do this? So here, how you do this? You go drive. You have to be in drive. Ask, and instead of options, you go view settings. So you go view settings, everything hidden. So you can choose your poison, do whatever you want. Actually, let put wheel only right now for more frames. You gain a little bit from the animation. So yeah. Oh, I've lost connection. That's nice. Still have problems with the lobby. So let me go back again.
You were lagging also in the Discord.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I think it's time for me to. It's been some months. I have to reboot my router because I,
Mm.
it's been some months that I haven't done that. I know, Sebastian, that he did a spotter guide. We'll see, but we'll see. Yes, I will be sharing the car with Davide. Always, yeah, always together. Is David the poor person that had to grow the children racers into adults in 1.4.1? No, not really. David is the poor person that has to deal with all the complaints of the of the people participating in the SRO sport, and Gergo is the one that actually does what those people are complaining. So he's he's even poorer than Davide. But yeah, that's what those guys are doing right now mainly, and lots of other stuff that we cannot talk about. Thanks, Brian. Oh, thank you, Noel. I'm very glad that you liked it. Thanks. All right, so let's do some driving, right? Let's do some driving.
Yeah.
So what should I do? Yes, again. Now I did 20 minutes and I had a little bit of um, light grain, but it wasn't bad. Shiny Vulpix asks if ACC simulates more tire wear on high rebound sets and positive negative skew damper sets. Actually, yes, but not. It's not scripted. If you put more damping, then you put more strain because all the car is stiffer on the tire. So the tire, more strain on the tire, more wear, and also higher heat. So with putting stiffer dampers, you can raise a little bit the temperature of the tires, and vice versa. Fernando, they have been resetted because there is a bug and on the back end, and Kevin is working on it right now as we speak. But if not as we speak, I mean, I know already that he's on top of that for this week. So right. Should I do some? I don't know. What are you doing now, David? Are you doing
Driving,
qualifying
driving,
times?
driving, driving.
Driving. Practice. All right.
Yeah,
So
I've put your race setup,
nice.
and I've put 30 liters of fuel.
Now, how do you feel it?
Fantastic.
It's good.
Yeah, tons of traction.
Yeah. That's yeah. Some worth. You can feel if a car pitches too much in under braking if you are turning in and you have lots of oversteer. That's a very clean indication. If you have lots of oversteer while turning in the turn, then you have excessive pitch probably. Wow, Themus added 12 hours. 12 hours of racing. What advice I have for training? Lots of water. Lots of water. If you can
Yeah.
have also a power nap between stints, even better. 12 hours. We did the 12 hours with Gergo and Kevin on Suzuka, and it was amazing. I loved it. Really, really cool. All right. I don't know. The track is fast. Uh, I could try some qualifying, maybe. See where I am. Yeah, why not? Let's try some qualifying. In qualifying, I got some extra traction because the car is very light at the rear. So as you saw, I've put the fuel at 50 liters and the aero at 72. From 74 I was behind. So 2 clicks down to gain some balance because the rear was very light and the car was moving too much. Izumi, thank you so much, mate. Thank you. What's that about? But the the camber thrust, maybe. Well, keep in mind that usually in simulation we create the effects, not the actual construction of the tire, because we know that there are different tires that have different construction and might need more or generate more camber thrust. So we create the end effect usually, because this permits you also to you know put it together with extra stuff. Now our tire model is made on the is based on the brush model, so you might know about that better if you are too much into that. And it has lots and lots of extra code for camber, heating, wear, all that stuff that normally is not implemented into the brush or into the Paseka model. Qualifying on pads one. Yeah, maybe I should change in pads two to gain just a tiny bit extra. That's true. Flu for sure there is a possibility, but I don't know what to tell you. You have to read the server document. There is a PDF in the installation folder, so you have to check that. Well, actually, the setup name, which sounds to see, is high traction race. I did a 142.1 in fast track with 100 liters B because I've changed a tiny little bit. So the asymmetric setup. Now the asymmetric setup is here. You can see just at the rear end. So what I've done here, I really like how the setup is performing. I needed lots of traction out of slow hairpins, and almost all the slow hairpins or the slow turns at Kyalami are left-handed. So left hand, the bump stops are quite high, and I don't want the suspension, when you are going left, I don't want the right suspension to touch the bump stop at slow speeds and, become stiffer. I want the suspension to be soft so that I can gain more traction. Now, we have some very fast right-handers on this circuit, right? That they are fast turns or very uh, uh, there are turns that the suspension is very much compressed, and on those turns I had some understeer. So on the left hand of the rear suspension, I made the bump stop gap smaller. So that means that when I'm on those very fast turns, the downforce pushes the car down, the suspension goes to touch the left side at the rear, and that helps it becomes more stiff, much more stiff, and that helps the car rotate. So I wasn't sure it would work, but the theory was saying, yeah, it should work. I tried it. It works pretty well. I'm pretty happy. So I have a car that's pretty, neutral in all kinds of turns that I want. So this is why I have uh, the asymmetric bump stop settings into this setup. It works pretty well. I'm pretty happy with it. Shiny says ask how you can add me on Discord. I'll tell you what, guys. I usually do not add people on Discord because I use Discord way too much every day for um, for work and everything. and so I try to keep it clean because otherwise I'm inundated from messages, and it's really hard to work. You cannot focus. So sorry about that, but I try not to add people on Discord. But you can always reach me on Facebook, on the private messages, on the forum, and so on, and here, of course. Uh, Guys, Lorenzo Clara asked about pad compounds. Please explain him. You know all the stuff about that now, and tell him where he can go and find it on the forum. Jack, yes, absolutely. Porsche is very fast, but very, very difficult car to drive. Right, so let's do a qualifying lap. Come on, let's do it. Let's try. Let's try some qualifying laps. Let's hear some sound, some noise. Right. Our car is arriving, so let's move away and wait for the guys. All right, let's go. The optimum shift point for the M6 was like 7,100, 7,200, somewhere around there. It can also change a tiny little bit, like 100, 200 RPMs from track to track because of the different BOP boost maps. Each track has a different BOP, and for turbo cars, they change the pressure of the turbos on the whole range of the RPMs of the engine. So you might have, more pressure in one track and less pressure in another track in different points of the revs of the engine. So you have to experiment a little bit or go and read the telemetry and see where it's best to change. Um, you seem to be quicker on the Lexus. The Lexus is a very nice car to drive. So, because you are a beginner, it means probably that you can get closer to your limits and the limits of the car with a car that is easier. And the Lexus is easy to drive up to a point. Up to a point. At very high levels, it becomes almost as hard as every other car. So probably that is the reason why. Coanda is still awake. By the way, great screenshot, guy. Thanks, Coanda, for the screenshot. Really, really nice. I like that you go and check, the hidden gems on the circuits on your screenshots. Really, really nice.
Brother mate, this has been your personal best.
right.
Yellow flag in sector 3.
Ah, not so good here. I can make it better. Ah! I missed the apex. Damn. Look how much time I'm losing. Ah.
Well done, mate. Personal fastest lap. Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Här Agile. Too much oversteer. Ah, not good, not good. Ah, lost all the time here.
Car on the left. Car on the left.
I wanted to let the guy pass, and he just went straight. Damn. Sorry, mate. Yeah, that was really fast behind me. Let's see if I can have fuel for one more lap.
Slow car ahead. Yellow flag ahead. Watch out in front.
See if I can follow him. Come on, push. Ah. I've lost the turn and lost all the time gain. Ah. Yeah, this one too. No, I'm not driving well. He's not driving well either because he's not going away.
Yellow flag in sector 3.
Ah, bullshit. Ooh. Sorry, mate. Who's that? Okay, let's change tires and go again.
I'm chasing you.
All right, let's do this. I have again dry one. Sorry about that. Let me see.
Yeah, me too.
So where are we here? Okay, now it's 2, right? Okay, let's go. Why we choose the Aston? Davide, you answer. Why we choose the Aston over the other cars?
Uh, quite,
I don't
don't
know.
know.
Nobody knows.
Yeah, there has been a bit of a passion inside the Kunos, at least for the people that are constantly driving. In the after 1.3, we really enjoyed testing the Aston well because we arrived so, let's say, busy to 1.3 release that we were not driving to have fun. And I remember the Aston to be one of the most, desired cars. So I
Right.
guess, and it's balanced, nice to drive.
So that's why. Now I also know why.
Yeah,
Thanks, MT Samuel, for the follow.
yeah. Sorry, guys, I will not speak so much tonight because I need to be silent.
You're sleeping.
Not me.
Bye, Jose. Ti chiedono dalla chat dove sono finiti i tuoi canali, i tuoi video. Thanks, Samuel.
Um, in italiano,
Sì.
l'hanno chiesto, ma i miei video di Hyper.
Boh, i tuoi canali hanno detto.
Ah, yeah, so now I have two YouTube channels. One is for music, Monkey Market, and the other one is Dave and Cars for basically nothing, some sim racing. And my old YouTube channels was the big one. I've deleted it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it was a mental block to do anything else on YouTube.
Ah, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, it's really hard. So imagine yourself with this huge channel you have right now,
Huge.
Yeah, mine was a bigger, but still, imagine yourself getting in some kind of passion with flowers, and you want to do flowers video, and everybody comes and asks for sim racing as legit, So the same, they were asking for Battlefield, and
Right.
I'm no more. I'm not a good player anymore. So
Okay, let's
but
see if we can do a proper lap now. Good night. Good night, Dennis.
no.
Come on.
Flag in sector 2.
Come on. Need to get faster. It's not fast enough. Oh, shit. 41.4,
Steps so far.
but we can do better. Come on, make this one better. Yeah. Yeah, you can do it. Let me go. Ah, fuck. Ah, come on. Ah, last lap. Make it count. Ooh, I've lost my reference point. Damn it. Ah, not so good. Ah, not good. Right, we improved a little bit, but we still have more time to find. Izumi, thank you so much, mate. Thanks for the support. Tracks in the rain are spelled out in the game, or is that all live track 3? Racing trajectory is very slippery, which should, when it should have a strong grip. I have made videos about that. If you go and watch Did You Know playlist, please go there and watch the videos about rain, and you will get everything that it is simulated and everything that it's not simulated and how it is simulated. So obviously we cannot do everything, but there are plenty of stuff there to learn. It's pretty cool. Uh, all right. So what were we doing here? Today I received my DD1. It's not also your wheel is not one on one. You have to check into your settings. There is one inside the wheel that says sensitivity. Put that to auto or 900 or 180, and you make sure that you have the same thing also in the options of of the game. I don't know if there is a third option inside PlayStation configuration, so check that. But it's all in how you have configured your wheel to have the full rotation, the lock. Turn 4 is so 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll try that. Yeah. I use a shitty 24 inches screen, but that's all I can use right now because I'm on a desk. I have two computers. I usually, do the development on one and then switch to the other to drive, moving things. So that's all I can put right now here. And but it works pretty well for me, so I'm never complaining. Right, so 6 minutes. Should I go out for another lap? No, yeah, I'm waiting here and answering your questions. PS4 and PC players would be able to race together? No, absolutely not. I can guarantee you this will probably never happen. There are many reasons. One of them is, of course, performance, because on the PC we have arrived in the incredible, incredible number that we can have. 105, 108 clients in a single server. Usually we have 40 or 50. 40 and 50 has become the new 20 in PC. And this is numbers that you cannot have, at least we cannot have in the console. This is one of the things. The other thing is that, as you know, we like to develop on the PC, develop on PCs first. We do things there, we test things there, and then you have to do the submission. If we had to do compatibility because in between those two platforms, it means that all the PC guys like you would have to wait for the submissions to pass on the consoles, even if the code is ready for the PC, and then do the update together. So it doesn't make sense for us, and other reasons, more or less. Johnny Oliveira, Porsche issue of oversteer or not in low fuel? Well, the thing is, the car has the fuel tank at the front, right? It's probably the only car that has the fuel tank that it's not close to the center of gravity of the car, but it's almost at the opposite. So you have a car that is very differently handling between full fuel and low fuel. So you have to do compromises to the setup to, maintain one or the other situation. Depends on what you do. The car, you will never have the perfect car. The Porsche is a car that it's fast, but you have to really work hard with the Porsche. You have to drive in a way that the Porsche is happy with your driving. It's not the other way around. It's not a car that will, help you go fast. You have to help yourself and make whatever the Porsche needs to go fast. It's difficult. I don't know about that, Caban. Carlos, no problem. What was your question? If you can repeat. Sorry about that, mate. I probably missed it. There are many things going on in the chat. So if you come again, I can have a look. Manx, we replied about we talked a lot about Unreal Engine 5 at the start of the stream. Note, Alfredo. Ciao, Alfredo.
Ciao, Alfredo.
Yeah, Johnny. Yeah, it's a short blanket. You try to cover your head and your feet are outside. You cover your feet, your head is outside. It is what it is. No, I haven't seen Lando Norris. Unfortunately, I think he didn't even try it. He just went away. Guys are used to whatever they're using. So don't know about all special events. Don't know what to tell you. Class indication MFD. Don't know about that. Ufini, no, I don't think so. We're doing any big physics changes or force feedback changes. It doesn't work like that. SRL, what cars have turbo? Well, the Aston has turbo, the Bentley has turbo, the Nissan has turbo. Uh, what else?
BMW,
The BMW has turbo. I'm sure I'm missing
Lexus,
some. The Lexus,
no,
no,
Lexus
the
no.
Lexus doesn't have turbo. The Honda has a turbo. The Ferrari has a turbo, and that's it. I think that's it. Probably missing something here and there, but mainly those are the cars that has turbo. Um, they consume less, or it depends. It depends. It's not as easy as it is. There are many other things. Carlos says Squadra Corsa drivers are unhappy about how the Huracan drives. Uh, you know, I'll tell you, I understand. Uh, I can tell you that almost everybody is unhappy how. I mean, we have McLaren or Porsche or Bentley asking for more performance, and they won. It really also depends on how the guys are. I've seen the Ferrari guys never complain, but there are a lot of them, and they are working together to get faster. So maybe the Lamborghini guys found themselves alone. They're not too much, so they cannot exchange too much experience with them. Uh, is the car slow? I don't think so. It's slow. It's difficult to set. It's very difficult to set up. It's hard to go fast. Is it as hard as real life? Might be not. But I will tell you that. Think how many Lamborghinis in 2019, not 2018, 2019. How many Lamborghinis made podium or wins? How many teams? And how many teams Lamborghini again did not manage to do good finishes? If you think about this, you might find some answers. It means that only one or maybe two teams managed to extract performance of the car because it was so heavy BOP. It has really, really lots of weight. It's a very heavy car, so it puts lots of stress on the tires. So this is pretty much the same also in the simulator. So you really have to work hard, train hard, and in the simulator probably it's even harder because you have all the other guys that they are pushing like crazy, to go fast. And if you see the lap times that the guys are doing, it's like they are slower by 5 tenths of a second, 4 tenths of a second, 6 tenths of a second into every qualifying session in the races that we had already. uh, Maybe sometimes 1 second, but not that. And just by 2 tenths of a second, you gain 10 places in the grid. It's really very, very hard. So, am I happy about that? Not really. I would like to make it faster. We have already made some changes, but it's not easy to find, performance out of nowhere, especially if you don't want to cheat on the values. You have to understand and see, okay, we have a value here that we don't know exactly what the value is, and the range is this, so maybe we can move around here, maybe you can gain something. It's not that easy. So yeah. Yeah, there are not many Lambo teams, and it's a hard car.
Green light. Go, go, go.
Oh, we have a troll in the chat. Nice. Um, all right. So what do we have here? Another practice session. Uh, Next gen console, Agile. I have no idea. We haven't tried them yet. They are, selected developers. We are not amongst them, and honestly, we wouldn't have the time to try them. So we don't know yet. what's going. The specs seems really great, but that's all we know. No, no, Carlos, no worries at all. If I can talk about something, actually, it's really enjoyable, it's really nice. And again, I mean, we have people that they are very nicely, asking for things and feedback, etc. We have other people that they are very aggressive. You try your best in the best possible way. That's what we do every time. And for example, the Lambo already got some improvements where we can find them. I don't know if there are enough. It's also difficult because you don't want to do something and the car maybe becomes a little bit better in one track. You go to the next track and dominates. That's not something that we want to see. So Zoni asked an interesting question. Uh, all right, so let's ban a guy. We don't need bad mood in the chat. So how do you remove this guy? And right, okay. As I said, guys, this is a channel to have fun. I don't need any bad mood in the chat, so fuck you. Yeah, it depends. It depends. It depends. It's not easy. It's better. The dumb god, the nickname. It's better if you do one report in the specific sub forum. It's easier for the devs, to follow you and read the reports instead of one big one. Jorge, Marcelo said he was slow in the sim, but he made third place, in Silverstone, the opening race. So, I mean, again, it depends. You have to watch not a single guy and his complaints, which we absolutely watch and control, but you have to see the larger image. And if you check all the lap times that they go on in the races, in the end, you see that the lap times are really, really very, very close, very, very close. It's very, very competitive out there. So it really depends. I mean, I know Marcelo is a champion, and he showed also that because he arrived third, I think, at Silverstone. But Fini, you are asking me stuff about competitors. I cannot reply that. Uh, Jose Lopez in SRO am straight to see the Porsche Cup. Actually, the Porsche Cup has participated in Spa 2018, which is when the game went out. So this is why it is included, and that's why also it is included the Lamborghini Huracan Super Trofeo. Those cars actually participated in Spa 24 hours in 2018 together with GT3 cars. Uh, GT4s are quite different to drive from GT3s. GT3s, everybody knows now, guys. That GT3s are very aerodynamically sensible cars, right? You have to work with the aerodynamics. You have your number one, focus is how to make the aerodynamics work and how to drive to make the aerodynamics work. This is GT3, right? Now, GT4 cars have practically very small diffusers, very small splitters. They are higher because of the BOP, and they don't generate. I mean, the mechanical grip is much higher in proportion than the aerodynamic grip. So they drive much more like normal cars on slick tires. They drift around, they rotate, they slide. Uh, the setup options are very very limited, extremely limited. The ride height doesn't do wonders in terms of balance. They do wonder. They change the mechanical grip because the suspension geometry obviously changes, but they don't change much the aerodynamic. They change it, but it doesn't have an actual effect. So they are cars that you know you drift around, they move a lot. It's completely it's different. It's much more easier if you know how to drift. They're much more stable. Everything happens at a slower speed, so they're much more controllable. Yeah. Johnny, yeah, 650 or 700 horsepower would be interesting. Yeah. Yeah, it's difficult, Carlos. I mean, the Lambo in 2019 had on some trucks it had 90 kilos of ballast, even 100 I think on one, 90 kilos. I mean, that's another fat guy inside the car. Or it's like on some trucks it is like going with a full fuel tank where all the others are like with 20 liters. The difference is massive, and the car still stays competitive into that grid with all that weight. Traction control is hard stuff because of those cars are very limited in from the rules. They're limited in the engine, they are limited in the aerodynamics. I mean, the aerodynamics are difficult to master for the driver, but in terms of regulations they are quite limited. They cannot do much. So all the money into improving the cars from the manufacturers go into the electronics, traction control and ABS. We already think that they are probably using traction control and ABS to have some kind of stability control, or vector torque, or stuff like that. But we are not sure about this. The regulation, the rule says you shouldn't do it, but as usual, it's open to implementation. So, and we don't know exactly what to do. We know up to a point, what they want us to know, and we try to implement that. But we are sure there is, performance to be found there. So, Kavan, well, I'm Greek, but I live in Italy for so many years. I'm more Italian probably than Greek now, at least in terms of years. But both people are, yeah, 90 kilos. It's not fat, but in terms of drivers are always very very light. So yeah, it's even the rules say that the driver is 85 kilos, so 90 is already over the limit. If your driver is less, then they will add you ballast to match an 85-kilo driver. I don't talk about release dates, guys, except if I have something proper. No, Flu, I'm sorry, mate. No, I'm talking specifically about drivers. Drivers are like 65 to 75 kilos usually, not that much. So what is Davide is doing with lap times here?
Hey, hey.
Davide is doing 42 flat. Nice, nice. He's getting fast, the guy. Right. No, no, guys, sorry. I don't mean that 90 kilos is fat. I mean it's fat for a driver, right? So, I mean there are people that they are massive. and they're much better, form than me, and they weigh much more than 90 kilos, but they're not fat, of course. So how can you raise tire temperatures? Well, it's not you can do you cannot do miracles because obviously tire temperatures, it depends also outside factors like you know and obviously to raise tire temperatures you need to stress the tires more. So I don't know up to what point you want to stress the tires more. You can stress the tires more with stiffer dampers and stiffer springs that will heat up the tires. You can stress the tire more with more toe, and more camber. That will also stress the tires more. You can stress the tires with less traction control and less ABS intervention. You can stress the tires with hotter brakes, but that doesn't mean that all of that things will make you faster. You know, especially with Pirelli tires that they have a more wide range of operation in terms of temperature. So it's better to have the pressures good and whatever temperatures you can achieve. So you can try, but don't go crazy about it. If your tire temperatures are light green, but the pressures are good, then maybe that's all you have to do. How much time difference? About 10 seconds, GT4 to GT3 cars. 10 seconds, yeah, more or less. In a circuit like Misano, for example. Misano, yeah, they are lapping at 44, 43, something around there. Yeah, could be Carlos. Brake temperature millimeters. That's an error, yeah, but it's just an error in the value. It's Celsius. Uh, optimal temperature is around for the brakes is around 400 to 600. Around there is the best temperature. They do work a little bit outside that, no real problems. A lot of outside that they don't work anymore. So uh, yes, the middle of the tire is the core temperature. The top and bottom of the tire is the surface temperature. Uh, Optimal track temperature. Unfortunately, I'm not very happy about that. The best track temperature is the coldest one almost that you can achieve, around 10 degrees, something like that. But I would like to change that in the future maybe and make so that if you are really cold, then you have some natural humidity and that makes things worse. So you go down, down, down. But for now, the lower the temperature, the more you gain everywhere. If you can have good temperature on the tires too. But in real life, you gain up to a point and then it flattens out or even gets worse because you get more humidity and stuff like that. So it's not always better.
Okay, guys, I think I'm going to sleep again.
All right, mate. Yeah. Thanks for joining. Hope you had some
Oh yeah,
practice.
yeah, a bit, just to sweat a bit and say hello to everybody.
Nice. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah,
So thanks again, and see you tomorrow.
yeah, 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 sure. So ragazzi, have a good night.
Cheers.
Bye, 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 bye.
Front and rear optimum brake temps the same. Now rear are a little bit wider and a little bit lower probably. Most fun part of developing GT4 cars for the game when they will be finished because we are under really really big stress right now to finish them. So unfortunately, they are cool, but I'm not enjoying them as much as I would like. 6 port front and 4 port rear, I think. Why there is no fog? Because there isn't. Those Audis are so nice. The livery they've chosen, the colors are so nice. The who are those guys? Claro and Gamma, really nice. Love them. Well done, guys. Uh, right. So what should they do? Should they do another lap? The track is optimum. I could try another lap. Yeah, ciao means also hello, and actually Italians never say goodbye. Uh, addio would be the goodbye for Italians, but it means that we will not meet again. So they say ciao both for hi and goodbye. And if they really need to say something when they are leaving, they will say arrivederci. So we will meet again. They don't particularly like the word addio because it is negative, like we won't meet again for a long time. So they don't use it so much. Their vlog, if you were braking without ABS, you flat spotted so hard your tires that eventually you had a tire puncture. So bad luck. No, I don't. I don't know about that, Zabs. Yeah, I don't think so for now. Yeah, 10 seconds is quite a bit. Yeah, yeah. They are both slower in straight line and, of course, in turns. So yeah. Power and Glory race with old friends. Wow, what a mod that was! Right, that was a massive effort back in the days. Massive effort. Power and Glory. I think we've made some kind of modding history with Power and Glory. Really, really nice. The liveries, the custom liveries, can be done. Um, uh, it's not a bad idea, Ufini, to add custom loots. If it helps you, why not? Yes, of course there are flat spots in ACC. Obviously, they are rare because you have ABS, so it protects you. But you can have flat spots, especially when you're spinning. So yeah, absolutely. Watch out. Quads Dave Academy is not sponsor of the game, but it's sponsor of the SRO eSport organization. And as such, he asked, and we included in the game. So SRO asked, so that's how it is. As far as I know, I don't know all the details. Maybe you should ask, Dave Coates about that. The truth is out there, guys. The truth is out there. Find the truth, use the truth. And I won't say anything about that. Thank you so much, Samba. Thank you so much, mate. Thank you, guys. All right, so come on. Let's do one more lap and then call it a night because it's already very late. So let's go and get 15. We're like this, all good. Uh, their vlog, the VLN will go faster in the straight lines, the GT4s, because in the VLN the GT3 cars have a limiter of top speed. They have a limiter of top speed. They could go much faster, but they have a limiter of top speed, so they cannot go faster than that. Dimitri, we have talked about the BOP at the start, at the mid of the live stream, etc. let alone what YouTubers and drivers say. They will always complain. Just go and watch the lap times they do and how close they are. Again, I will say, in the first races, okay, we have 3 races in the European SRO by 2, so pro and silver, so 6 races, and we had another 3 races in the American SRO Championship, and in all those races, usually the drivers are, we have 20 to 30 drivers within a second in qualifying, and the same numbers in the fastest lap time within the race. So if that's a bad BOP, I'm sorry. The guys are always complaining because they want to be, the best. But because they all complain, and all the manufacturers complain about that, for example, if I start making all the cars faster as they ask, at the end of the day, we're gonna have, all cars lapping 1 second faster in the same track, but the classification would be the same. So what's the point? Of course, we try to make the cars as close as possible, but I mean the cars are totally different between them, and they do so close lap times. Come on, I mean, really? Have a look at the other sims. What's happening? Don't get me started on that. So I have maximum, effort and lots of respect for everybody. But one thing that I believe there's not much to space to improve in ACC. It's the balance of so many different cars between them, and especially again, don't watch one single qualifying with no cars. Watch it when you have all the cars for the race for all the races. This is how BOP works. So Uh, Daniele Pria, I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe because you are in different conditions. Could be. Yes, always. Uh, I don't know about that school ball. Honestly, I have no idea because I don't know how the graphics guys will do in the end. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you everybody for your very very nice words. Uh, there, Draven, unfortunately, no, not until I guess SRO doesn't go to the Nordschleife. It's just. Right, yeah, yes, Zabzi. All right, okay. Let's do some extra laps and then call it a day, right? Yeah, let's do some extra laps. So, boop. Let's see if we can improve and also maybe talk a little bit about how I do the turns in here. No comment about that. No, I said summer, not June. I said summer. Don't start the hype. All right, so Good exit here, possibly. Not like that. Let's go. Go. Braking just before the 100 mark here. Go a little bit inside the turn, release the brakes. Still not good. Here I try to stay as wide as possible. Second gear, release the brakes, make the car maintain the speed. That turn is all about speed in mid-turn. I've lost the apex here, so I have to make that better next time. Again, second gear, rotate the car and early on the throttle. You see how early I went. I went also wide, so no good. Slow on the brakes here. Don't do it. Don't overdo it. Don't watch the chat. Yeah, don't watch the chat. Don't be an idiot. Concentrate. Daniele, I have already replied. So if you didn't heard me, I mean, how many times? I told you, probably the conditions of the circuit are different. You have to change the pressures again if the conditions are different. Yeah, Tortellini is here. Oh, I'm driving really bad. Really bad driving. Okay. So let's lower a little bit the traction control since the track is optimum. That might give us some extra push forward out of the turns. All right, let's go, let's go.
There's a slow car ahead. Yellow flag ahead. Watch out. Well done, mate. Personal best.
All right. Oh, I've lost connection. Oh, come on. Lately, yeah, I have to reboot my router, as I said previously. Starts acting really, really wildly. All right, guys. So I guess that's all for tonight. I mean, let's answer some questions maybe, and then call it a day since we've lost connection. So let's go back and back again and stay here. And let's switch back to my big head, wobbly head, and have a little bit of a chat replies. And yeah, so what did you do? Well, we did some practice today. Lap times weren't that bad. So yeah, hopefully we will be a little bit more prepared for Friday night. So remember, guys, to to join me Friday night, me and Davide, while we try to do the race, 2 hour race with driver swap. Hopefully, we will put our proper names properly inside the simulator so we don't crash the game because we are idiots. But yeah, again, VR updates. Just want to say, thank you, Daniel. Thank you so much, mate. The CSW is a fine steering wheel. You love it. Do you expose an API to query for driver stats? I don't know about that. No idea. Honestly, I have no idea. For now, there are no plans for the 2020 season, so I don't know what to tell you. Which widget? I don't know. Big head means big brain or lots of empty space. Carlos, it depends. On what temperatures are based the safe and aggressive tire pressure? Around 27 degrees, mm, something like that. Something like that. But it changes. That's the nice thing about Assetto Corsa Competizione. This is what we try to do. We try to do, real life conditions on track change always, continuously. And Assetto Corsa Competizione simulates that in a small percentage. In real life conditions, the tracks, the speed that you can obtain into the track changes continuously. You go into a track 1 week, you go the next week, everything seems the same. The temperature of the weather is the same. The wind, there's no wind, whatever, and you are slower or faster by 1 second. You don't understand why, and that's because for whatever reason something changes into the surface or the amp temperature or whatever. So real life, it's really, I've said that many times. Sim racers are used to drive on numbers, and this is something that we tried with Assetto Corsa to change a little bit. So you shouldn't drive on numbers, at least not so much, but trust your instinct and try to deal with whatever is different. Don't think like, oh, I did 1 minute 41.5. I should do the same thing the next day. Yes, of course, in the simulator you can put the same exact conditions and the track remains the same. That's unfortunate. In real life, this doesn't happen. So that's why I like going into the servers where the conditions change and you have a little bit of difference. So yeah. Xiaomi, when do you have your Silverstone race? When? It's not changing, mate. If Daniele, if it works for hundreds of thousands of people and the setup remains the same, something is not correct on how you do things probably. So you know, I'm not. I don't want to sound like I'm having something with you, but this is something common that we see everywhere, not just in sim racing, but pretty much everywhere in video games, uh, in software development. So you have a product that it's out there for thousands of people, thousands, for hundreds of thousands, sometimes even millions of people. You get some people, in the forum, they could be even 10 or 50, it doesn't matter, but they're 50, in the end. And they say, oh, I have this problem. So it means that your hardware your software is bugged. No, it's not. If you have thousands of people that do not complain and don't have an issue, and you have the issue, then maybe something is wrong in what are you doing. So you have to find out. We are here to help, obviously, or we are here to find the bug if there is any bug. But for example, for 2 races, me and Davide had a Assetto Corsa Competizione crash on us during the drive swap, right? Now, we could have said, this is it, we have a problem, we have to fix it. But we saw 40 people, 50 people in the server, and we were the only ones having the problem, and maybe 1 or 2 teams from 50 in 2 races, the same thing. So you have to stop and think, okay, probably I'm doing something wrong. We checked and we found out that yes, we were the problem. We had something wrong. So if you have so many people not having that kind of issue, then something else is happening. Could be also placebo, that your driving instinct, it makes you react differently. But this is how it works. Unfortunately, that's how it is. Turamato, no plans to introduce real weather. That was something we decided early in the development, because in real weather you might have situations that normally do not happen in real life. So in the winter you might have under 0 degrees, negative temperature, really really cold, and obviously the tires won't work in such situations. Or you might have extreme hot situations, but we don't do the race at Monza, for example, in the middle of July or August. There is a reason. The reason is that usually you have 40 degrees outside and 60 degrees on the track. So yeah, so that's why we don't do real weather. Shooter 80. What was the reason to do the crash? I will show you. So um, when you are trying to do um, you know um, driver swaps, the most important thing is the first name, last name, and the name of your car and livery, that and team that you give to the organizers. So your team has to say the exact name. So lazy devs team that we have here, like that. This one must be absolutely perfect. Okay, the name that you have in the driver here has to be absolutely perfect, and by perfect I mean even that. So if, for example, for whatever reason you made a mistake, a typo, and you have a space here or at the front or whatever, like that, okay, so you have Aristoteles and one space by error, and obviously you give your name into the league organizer and configures the server without a space. That's an error, and you're going to have crashes. And you have to be very meticulous, very very attentive, very careful to have your exact name, nickname, last name. And so ask, for example, from your legal administrator to share with you the server configuration, the part that it's relative to your name and your team's mates names and your team name. Check that those names are the exact same that you have also in the game. If that's not good, you're gonna have crashes. So yeah. I'm not running the game in maximum quality. My PC is a Ryzen 363, sorry, 3600X, a little bit overclocked, and 1080 NVIDIA normal, no, not TI. Or so that's one of the main things that you gain a lot of frames with Ryzen's and also Intel is you need a very fast memory for Assetto Corsa. It pays a lot, so I advise you, to go and buy a fast memory with good latency. I've seen many configurations with good processors and good, video cards that had, very old memory, or mixed banks of memory with bad speeds, and they couldn't do the same frame rate I was doing with less hardware power. So memory is important. Memory speed, and latency of memory. How is it possible to add motion blur in a post screen? It depends how you do the screenshot. I think if you press F12, you get motion blur in your screenshot instead of pressing F8 or something like that. There is, if you go to our official forums and you go into the screenshots and video subforum, there is a post about how to make better screenshots in Assetto Corsa Competizione where it explains all of that. I advise you to go there and have a look. No comment about 2020. I don't know what's going to happen. Very glad you improved. Ooh, from 128 to 124. That's nice. Uh, Nicholas, not exactly on the brakes. Something similar, but not exactly like that. We already use the Steam GUID, but we need both things. Suggestions for fight freezes. Maybe you mean slight freezes or stuttering. So my suggestion of stuttering is that um, in the options, video options, except of course finding. Well, first of all, one of the things that is a little bit strange with Unreal Engine is that not there's not a real advice I can give you to what options to low, so to make lower. So I can tell you, okay, mirror quality, if you put that to off, yes, everybody gains frame rate from that, a lot of frame rate, 10, 20 frame rates, a lot more from the mirror quality if you just switch off the mirrors. So if you can do it, do it, but you have to be very careful, know how to use the radar. But all the other stuff, it really depends on your hardware. There are some, you know, older video cards that they are very fast and have very fast frame rate, but they are not so good on, you know, doing post processing effects. So maybe you go down on some post processing effects or other stuff, and you gain frames. There are some video cards that you lower some of those post-processing effects and nothing changes simply because the video cards are so efficient on doing them that nothing changes for those. So you have to try a little bit here and there. For stuttering, I can tell you this. Now you see, I had this. That's why I had some stuttering today. I use frame limit. So, for example, I can do easily 140 frames per second at some points, but at some points, at some situations, I might go down to 70 because many cars, because long shadows, because all of that. So, what I do is I put my frame limit to 90 because at 90 I'm very satisfied by the fluidity, and most importantly, when I have those dips on the frame rate, the difference is smaller. From 90 to go to 70 is no big deal, and when that happens, usually you have much less stuttering than letting it free, and so you go very high and then low again and high again. So I always try to use frame rate limit. Yes, track time changes according to sunlight incidents and also cloud coverage. Areas that are lit by sun or hotter, that doesn't happen exactly like this. No, that doesn't happen. But the whole circuit as a whole, yes. No, the track is not the track that is under shade is not cooler. Unfortunately, it's global. That's something I would like to see in the future, maybe. Ciao, Luigi. I don't know about that, Mike Evans. I don't know. You have that stuff for Kevin. I'm not so well informed about what you can actually do with the server. Sorry. Which track I think is the most educative or teachy? Matteo. Nice question. Well, usually the easier track to learn is the shorter track, so that you can do many laps in less time. So something like Brands Hatch, for example. But if you want to learn a little bit of everything, then, well, for example, I know that most of you guys hate it, but Paul Ricard is a very cool car to learn about pretty much everything: slow turns, fast turns, turns that go tighter, turns that open up, very fast turns, long straights, short straight. It has everything, but it is hard to memorize because of, the surroundings are all the same. Kyalami is very nice, very nice. It has also different turns. Maybe lacks a little bit of very, very high speed turns. Maybe it's a little bit on, most of the turns are a little bit on the slow side. Silverstone is another track that has many stuff, many different turns inside, and very technical also turns. Silverstone really like that. Also difficult to learn. Um, what else? Yeah, I mean, you get what I mean. Linux server. I'm not sure about that, but I think there are people that they are actually running Assetto Corsa Competizione under Linux, and they say that it goes pretty well. And I think server also works under Linux. Not really sure. Right height limits. Well, mm, the right height limits on the on GT3s are identical for all tracks. On the GT4s are could be different. I'm still watching at it. Not sure what we can do about that. We'll see. Yes, I'm insane. Yeah, yeah. Easy. Yeah, I can feel your pain, mate. But there is a reason why they do the testing. Yeah. Poricar is not under theory. You have to have a setup that makes you survive into the very, very, very fast right-hander after the very long straight. It's a turn that you go in at 270, 280, 200, sorry, 60 kilometers per hour. So all your setup is around surviving that turn, which obviously big compromises, to uh, probably some GT3 cars to drive in original Assetto Corsa 1. What do I think about gamepad players? What do I think? Can I be completely honest? Gamepad players, especially in Assetto Corsa 1, but also in Assetto Corsa Competizione, are so many that we should all thank them for their passion, because they pay the bills for everybody else like us and you guys, because the actual sim racing hardcore market is extremely small. Everybody thinks that, oh, we hardcore sim racers, you should listen to us. I have talked about this in the past. I will talk again. Um, the actual hardcore market, sim racing hardcore market, is extremely small. Like, I don't know, 40, 50, 60,000 people in the whole world at most. Hardcore, right? Everybody else is occasional casual players. Hundreds of thousands are, gamepad players. Those people pay the bills for us to do this amazing work that we love, our passion. Licenses, tracks, laser scans, everything. So, uh, gamepad players, thank you guys. really. And everybody, the sim racing community, should thank them because of them, our hobby becomes bigger and they pay the bills big way, and everybody else can enjoy more hardcore simulators. And at some point all those people start to like what they see, and if they have the space and place and money, they will slowly go towards steering wheels, hardware, stuff like that. So thank you guys. uh, mm, uh again, the Nordschleife every time. Easy Suzuki Alto. For now, up to British GT, we're still, late this year or start of next year, so it's too early to think of anything else. What about cars? Well, you have to start with something easy, like easy, something that permits you to push and learn the tracks first. So something like the Aston, the Bentley, the Lexus, maybe, and then slowly gravitate to more difficult cars. Again, all cars are very hard to the limit. The more you push, the harder they get. Every car has, but there are cars that they are easier to go up to a point, and there are cars that they are hard right from the start. So yeah. Jean Gabriel, sir, is possible to change wing and duct configuration during the pit stop? Yes. I mean, yes, obviously, especially on long races, no 24 hours races, they can do that. And I know the next questions, but unfortunately, we can't do that right now. Well, Airvol. No, numbers are numbers. Um, do you see all those 100 players playing? That's one part. Second part is, um, so as you said, they have 100,000 subscribers, which is amazing, and this is how they go on because they have to keep on paying. Assetto Corsa One has sold by more than a million, more than a million. And let me remind you, with all modesty, but Assetto Corsa One was the actual sim that opened, the market, the sim racing genre, to the Nordschleife LRScan, to Ferrari inside sim racing, to Lamborghini inside sim racing, to Pagani inside sim racing, to Porsche inside racing. First ever sim to have all those amazing licenses. So again, massive respect. All right, those guys are amazing. We are pretty good ourselves, and you know, either you do subscription model to pay your bills, but for a much smaller market, or you don't do subscription model. You do much more affordable prices. You cannot offer some stuff like the multiplayer that not only we cannot in terms of money, but we don't actually know how to do it as they do it. So it's not easy to get into that kind of market because each developer has its own pros and cons. But we did other stuff that nobody else did before us. So yeah. All right, all right. I'll check about that player, like something. I don't know about that, but I will check it, Akira. How expensive build of sim racing game? I cannot tell you really numbers because I'm not, handling those numbers. So I don't really know the exact numbers, and I might, make big mistakes, and then Marco Masaruto will be very mad about me. But I will tell you this: Now we are a very very small team, one of the smallest, if not the smallest, in sim racing development. Uh, and nowadays that we are bigger, we are around 20 peoples, 12 peoples constantly, and extra peoples when we need help, like 20 people. Uh, Now think with the average wage, so payment, monthly payment of a developer in your country, what it costs to have 20 people for a year, right? Working full time job. Think about that. Add on these taxes, add on these costs of offices, stuff like that, travels. That. Add on these licenses, big money on licensing. Add on this hardware. I mean, you can. I mean, even if you don't know the cost of the license, think about just hardware. So a good computer and a good monitor and a steering wheel for around 20 people, and a monthly payment, a monthly wage for a developer for 1 year. That will give you an idea. It's not low. It's not low. And of course, keep in mind that you know you have to keep on going. So fandom, you say you could pay a small subscription for ACC for a long-term multiplayer improvement. The problem is, um, it's a very long discussion to do. I know that you're not alone, but even with many friends of you or of people that think the same like you, it's not sure that you arrive at the critical point, and it's not sure that all those people will keep on paying if what we are going to offer is not up to their standards. And the standard out there is iRacing. It's clear. You look at it, you know how it is. I mean, everybody expects something at least similar. So it's not easy, to go into there and say you need a capital to go into there and say, you know what, yes, I'm gonna try it. But for sure that for starters, you're gonna lose money. And for a company like us and our business model and how we do things, it doesn't really make much sense. Never say never, but right now it doesn't. And as I said, it's not just that, okay, do it or not do it. It's not that easy. It's not that easy. I mean, uh, you know to give you an example, right? Before SEC, uh, everybody would go to Assetto Corsa One and would praise the drifting, physics and the active stuff on the road cars, and stuff like that. We were the best on that. Why other people didn't do it? Well, it's not easy. Uh, People would complain that some racing cars on ACC, on Assetto Corsa One, weren't as good as, I don't know, single seaters in their factor do, so to say. Why we couldn't do it? It's not that easy. They were better than us in that way. We didn't have rain. We didn't have dynamic track. Why? It's not that easy. We couldn't do it. We didn't have the multiplayer of racing. Why? Because it's not that easy. So it's not like you see something, you copy past. The sound race room was number one. Why everybody else didn't have the sound of race room? It's not easy. Now enter Assetto Corsa Competizione. It improves the physics. It had only racing cars. It has only racing cars. It has probably the best sound, I believe. It has better internet connection. Why it doesn't have some other things? It's not easy. It's not like that software does that part better. Let me take the code and put it into mine. No, it doesn't work like this. You have to do everything from scratch. So I know that sim racers, especially the ones without development experience, they see something and say, "Oh, why you guys cannot make the perfect sim?" Well, it's not possible. It's not easy. It's not. If someone could do it, I can assure you it would have done it already, because everybody is trying very hard to do the perfect sim. But it's not possible, because obviously the one that could have done the perfect sim would have taken, all the market to itself. Everybody would be dead. It would have the monopoly, and hey, money. If you don't see it around that, I mean, you think that developers are stupid enough to say, "Oh, I could do the perfect sim, but you know what? I won't. I won't do it." Everybody wishes to do the perfect sim, but it's not easy, man. Not easy at all. Oh, come on, man. Come on. No, 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 no. Don't do this. Don't do this. I mean, seriously, guys. Okay. I would. Okay. Rant number two. The latest iRacing seat storm. Okay. Rant number four for tonight. Latest iRacing seat storm. Or iRacing handling stuff like bullshit. And I'll tell you why. Each developer tries extremely hard to make as good physics as it can. Extremely hard. And it is extremely hard to make it. And not only it is hard, but sometimes, you follow a path that you had, you found out some scientific paper, and you try to follow that path, and it turns out to be incorrect, right? Or it didn't work out as you wished, or you have a mental idea about how one thing should be, because your experience says that this is how it should behave, a car or a tire or whatever. So I can assure you, every developer, all of them, they try extremely hard. Now, let's for just a second put your person, yourself, in a position that there are no other sims. You are a race driving enthusiast, right? And you want to drive a car into your PC, okay? And there are no other sims, no sims. And out of the blue comes a software called iRacing, right? And you drive it. What would you think? I would say, oh my god, this is mind blowing. It's amazing. It's unbelievable. Yes, of course, I might have some difficulties here and there, but it's unbelievable. It's amazing the stuff that they can do, right? Now, do you have a factor to think if it was alone? Just Air Factor 2 existing. Oh my god, unbelievable. Now, again, delete everything. You have Race Room experience or Automobilista 2. I mean, mind blowing. Mind blowing. Erase everything again. Assetto Corsa Competizione. Incredible. Mind blowing again. So each one of the simulators on the market right now are at amazing levels. And what happens every 1 or 2 years? Always the same story. One better sim comes in the market, everybody else is shit. Okay? Oh, another one improves or updates, everybody else is shit. Do you remember, guys, what you were saying when we tried really hard to introduce a better tire simulation with flex in 3 dimensions and everything, and the new aero conditions and such, and the cars were amazing everywhere, but when you were going over the curbs, disaster could happen. Everybody was shitstorming Assetto Corsa Competizione because curbs were impossible to drive, and it wasn't true. I mean, there were hard and there were cases where stupid things were happening, but it wasn't really impossible. Let's be clear, right? Let's be honest. But rightfully so, constructive criticism, everybody was complaining and they were right. Okay? So up to that point, all the other sims were, oh my god, so much better than Assetto Corsa Competizione, and Kunos lost it, and they had such a good simulator with the Assetto Corsa 1, and they made the Assetto Corsa Competizione, and it sucks, and this is terrible, and those guys are idiots. We had to eat that shit. Sorry about that. Sorry for the language, but we had to eat that for 3 months while we were working our asses, to make it better. And that because we wanted to improve. But the improvement broke completely break the handling the uh, behavior of the tires over certain curves. The improvement, because we proved it. Yes, it was happening sometimes also in Assetto Corsa 1, but it was much rarer. In competition, it was happening uh, much more often. So, and at some point, out of very hard work, we introduced the 5-point tire model, and then again some extra improvements and some extra improvements and everything. Now we are at the point that, oh my god, the Assetto Corsa Competizione is the best GT3 sim racing title out there in physics. So I loved it and everything like that. Thank you so much. But that doesn't make iRacing sit out of the blue. All right. So again, I think especially hardcore sim racers. Yes, I know that now we have the lockdown and all the real drivers, are back, and everybody of the real drivers likes to tell the truth, and uh, get more clicks because they are sitting on titles. Those guys will go away after the pandemic situation will be done, and they go to drive the real cars. And we sim racers and developers, we will stick to each other again, and we should. And so I believe that the sim racing community as a whole, should have much more respect to the guys that give them so many hours of happiness, enthusiasm, experiences, frustration. It's part of life, okay? For their passion. So don't do that, because I've been through that, and it really hurts. It's not good. It's not good because those guys right now, I'm pretty sure they are working their asses to be better than us, and they will be at some point. And then the cycle will start again, and everybody else out there. So they don't deserve to be so harshly criticized. It's not good. It's not fair. It's not fair because all of us, developers and sim racers, have so much passion about that damn thing that we call sim racing. Otherwise, the developers would go out, and do arcade games or mobile games. So much more to gain. So I'm pretty sure that Dave Kammer out there now is inside, books, studying from, every day, trying to be the best of the best, because that's his mentality. That's how he does things. Not good. Thanks, Easy. Thank you so much for the support, mate. I wish I could do that Suzuki Altos for you, mate. So, and with this late night rant, I think that's enough. I've broke your balls way too much tonight. So yeah. So yeah, we are family. Yeah, we're family. Okay, so that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that you didn't found all that kind of ranting stressful or annoying or whatever. If it is, I apologize. But personally, uh, I'm with all the other developers. I mean, iRacing, Automobilista guys. Come on, keep the fight, guys. Keep the competition on. That's what makes us better, everybody. All right. Okay, guys. I think that's all for tonight. Thank you so much for joining. You are, guys. You're amazing. I mean, there are so many people every time. So thank you so much for all the support. Thank you for joining. For me, it really is a pleasure to be able to talk with you guys. Some point we have to do something, guys. I don't know, a Discord party or something like that. So go all inside and talk and chat. So I don't have just to read the chat and you guys just listen to me talking all the time. Uh, thank you so much. The channel is so close to 10,000 subscribers, so we will have to do some kind of party, something. Maybe I will leave a comment into the discussion of the channel, and let me know what you would like to do for a 10,000 celebration of the channel. So thanks again, and take care. Stay safe as always, because now it's the most difficult and risky situation that everybody starts to open again our countries, but that damn thing is still out there. So stay very careful, stay safe, be extra careful with hygiene and everything. So yeah, and join me on Friday. We try the race. All right. Thank you so much, guys. Take care. Bye.